I do believe in planning ahead, and sort of 2.5 years prior to retiring from my previous job, I was looking around for the right franchise for me and Sally.
I had a lawn that was problematic. I'd just been made redundant. My mother-in-law had fantastic results with GreenThumb up in Preston, and when I phoned them up to do my lawn, they said, sorry, there's no one in the area. And then I thought, well, actually, this is something I want. I'm looking for a business, and a franchise business is kind of a lower risk entry into the business area. And so I said to GreenThumb, can I come have a chat with you?
Ian was in printing. He was a lithographic printer, and at the time I was just doing part-time administration for the family business.
Well, I was working for the Metropolitan Police Force. I was civil staff, and Brian was my boss. He was the superintendent.
I'd worked for a company that did franchising, and I'd worked with them for 15 years.
One of our friends had an existing GreenThumb franchise. We didn't really know anything about it until we went round for tea one day, and they picked the post up and there was like 40 cheques behind the door, and I was like, oh, you've got a lot of bills there. And they said, no, these are all cheques coming in, so that kind of made us think, So that led to a conversation that led to this.
I knew I didn't have all the skills it took to run a successful business myself. I knew exactly what my strengths were, and I also knew, unfortunately, what my weaknesses were.
We can juggle the two, the business and the home life, which was important for me, because if I had an office job somewhere else, it wouldn't be as flexible as it is.
The benefit of franchising is that so much of the infrastructure is there, so much of the risk has been taken out of it because it's a proven package.
The most important thing for me was obviously the business side of it. It had to be a viable business, and there was a couple of factors that I really was looking for. One was repeat business, something where I wouldn't have to keep going out and getting a new customer every day. And it's something that we were going to enjoy, because it's so important for us, having worked for 29, 30 years in something that was a high-pressure job, that we don't mind pressure, but something that was enjoyable. The day before I came to look at the GreenThumb business, I'd looked at another lawn treatment company.
And I came up to attend one of GreenThumb's sort of introductory days and was very interested. The presentation was good, the guys all seemed very credible, and they proved to be.
And it was like chalk and cheese. I mean, it was just total opposites. And certainly the impression I got from the GreenThumb setup was just, streets ahead.
There are smaller companies now that are setting up, and a customer will sometimes say to me, well, they'll do it for 10 pence less or whatever, I just want to look, we're the best, we're the well-established, that's our price. And, we can offer you a great service.
We knew the products were great, and we knew that it was priced right for everybody to want to have their lawns treated.
The setup as well encourages you to be ambitious. The way they want you to run, encourage you to run your business, encourages you to strive forward as well.
We followed GreenThumb's model, and we knew it was successful, so we ran with that.
The profile of the company, and the brand of the company is getting so well known now, and it's such a huge business across the country.
I think anyone who takes on a GreenThumb franchise, if they can't make a GreenThumb franchise work, they shouldn't be in business, because I don't see any reason how anyone with a degree of business acumen couldn't make it work. I found that it works itself, but any support you needed was only at the end of the phone.
We can ask someone about advertising, IT, the technical side of things. There's someone there that has got an answer for us, and if they don't know the answer, they'll go away and find out for us. And we haven't got to trial all those things for ourselves. It's already there. They've got 20 years of experience, so it's fantastic.
The things that kind of goes on behind the scenes that you don't necessarily want to have to think about, just simple things like, livery for the vans. Who are you going to get your vans from? Where are you going to get your uniform from? What fertiliser are you going to be using next month or next year? Things like that.
Stationery, just everything that you can just concentrate on running your business.
I mean, given the fact that I've already admitted that I didn't know the first thing about how to get my lawn into condition and why I'd called out GreenThumb, basically the training course was really good at introducing you to the business model, how to grow the business, how to actually do the treatments.
Not only do we
obviously train our franchisees and support them. But obviously having such a large family of franchisees out there, they're also a great source of support and inspiration. And we're more than happy for our prospective franchisees to talk to our existing franchisees. In fact, we insist upon it.
Anything you've gone through, someone else will have gone through. And so that helps you in the early days. But then later on, you're happy to pass that on to others as well.
Recently, the whole branding has been analysed, and we're now appearing on television, and I think that is the sort of thing that our franchisees absolutely relish, because that is the sort of thing that really generates customers in abundance.
In the period that the TV advertising was going, we noticed probably a 40% increase in inquiries in relation to people having their lawn treatment, which is a very busy time it would have been for the year anyhow for us. So yeah, that was very, very good, and it was also a very positive image of GreenThumb as a company.
It reminds you why you bought a franchise and didn't just go and set up Tyler's Lawn Care or something like that, because at the end of the day, we're paying 2% into a marketing fund, but that 2% pot becomes huge because it's shared across the network, so we can afford marketing that no one else could ever afford to be a part of.
I think GreenThumb are very supportive in the marketing. We've used the regional assistants extensively, and any type of press release that comes out, we'll send that on.
They don't interfere. They don't, sometimes if there's too much interference, then you can't actually run your business, and you don't feel as though, I think with franchising especially, you don't feel as though it's your own business, whereas with GreenThumb, it is our business. We do run it ourselves, but they're there to help.
This business is a people business, there's no doubt about it. And being able to communicate with people and manage some of the things that happen through those interactions with customers, is a really important thing.
Good all-rounders are the sort of people we like to see.
Good marketing skills.
Motivated, driven.
You need to have a good business head.
Just being organised, having that organisational skills behind you, you definitely need that.
If you want to be like a man with a van and just operate your own little van and stuff, that's not for you either. This is a business.
I wasn't interested in gardening or anything like that beforehand, but once you get to know the business and you get the enthusiasm for it, that then passes on to your potential customers, which then become customers.
There's also, I guess, a sort of gut instinct from our perspective as well. So, people who have a certain degree of drive and a certain ebullience that we know that will mean that they are constantly hungry to continue to grow these businesses. These businesses grow anyway, but what we want to see is people who really want to push the envelope and ensure that in each territory that we have a franchisee, that they are the number one lawn care business in that area. Franchisees or prospective franchisees in the first instance come to our head office at one of our seminars, or we have two personal interviews, and we basically ensure that they meet with some of the senior members of the team here, and we ensure that basically both of us are comfortable thereafter moving to that next stage. The whole process from first contact to signing of the franchise agreement is a kind of mutual kind of probationary period, if one wants to call it that. And during that period, it's very much a case of each person having the space to sort of look at the whole proposition and decide whether it's for them.
You want to just get on with it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do get excited about it. This is a big venture, it's a big change of lifestyle, and you can get quite excited about setting up the business and getting on with it. And I think you need a space.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things the best thing that GreenThumb did for us is they said, well, have a think about it.
We did a lot of door knocking, a lot of canvassing, but that's still standing us in good stead, because people even remember us from 4 years ago, even if they didn't take up the service at the time. So we had to be fairly determined to push it at the start, and I suppose with any business you have to put your fair share of work into it.
Just knowing that it's you that's grown the business, and knowing that every year your income's going up as well, really, as a result of your hard work.
I went from, in 5 years, from myself in one van to now have a 7-van operation. I'm employing 7 people as crewmen, and I'm employing 1 person in the office. So from that point of view, I've created employment in the area. I've built up a large customer base.
You're building a business within an area that supports the area, and the area supports you, and that gives you satisfaction as well.
Yeah, knowing you've got a good reputation as a business in your area, and surrounding areas even.
I like the recognition, to be quite honest. We've won several awards, so that's been absolutely fantastic. I like seeing us at the top of the league table every month.
From the first month we made a profit, which is unusual. A lot of businesses say they take 5 years is the average before they make a profit.
Some franchisees, whether it be through retirement or whatever it might be, are looking to sell parts or all of their businesses. And what we're seeing is a real value in those businesses that both the exiting franchisee is realising and also the incoming franchisee can see that not only have they got a business that has value, but also a lot of potential too.
We also felt it was important to actually go and meet all of our customers. You know, we sent out a letter saying that we were taking over, and as far as we've been able to, for those that have been in, we've actually been and met them and had a chat about them and chatted about their lawn. So I think that was really important.
The people I'm meeting on their doorstep, generally, by and large, a lot of recommendations from current customers. So obviously we're definitely doing something right.
One of the things that attracted me to GreenThumb when I first came through the door was its distinct lack of complacency. And you know, speaking to everybody what a great business it was at that time, everybody saying, yeah, but we could be so much better. We'll just continue to evolve. You know, our place as the #1 lawn care company in this country is, I believe, now unassailable.
We'd like to just keep on growing it and keep on doing what we've been doing for the past 7 years. Obviously, it does get easier every year with the TV advertising and things, with the brand growing.
It's a brilliant business model. It's very straightforward. Make lawns green, get rid of the weeds, and then the customers pay us. So, I mean, it's quite straightforward, really.
It was daunting when we thought we were going to take another crewman on, the first crewman, first another van, and now we look back and think, God, what were we worried about?
Growing up from scratch, I'm now sitting with over 2,000 customers. In 4 years, I think that's a tremendous increase, and I see the potential for so much more.
One of the things that inspired me into doing this business is to have an end product. I needed something that I could do, and at the end of that there would be a product that I could look at with a certain degree of pride. And to see a garden go from something that is, you know, a weed patch to, you know, a lovely lawn is, you know, great for me, and that gives me a buzz.